So I'm Mike, I'm the owner of The Tasty, along with my wife, but I do most of the cooking. Today's noodle night, which is kind of my baby. I love Asian flavors, and I like to not only use them, but incorporate them into other cuisines as well. So I guess some people used to call it fusion, but I think it's just American cooking now. So we do dinner from 5 to 9, and then 9 o'clock I clean, and then I bring all sorts of stuff up for lunch the next day, and I prep till about midnight. And then I go home and come back in the morning. But it's a long day. However, the more prep I do on my time makes it easier when we open up. So it's more for me a matter of de-stressing, even though it sounds like I'm just going to be here all day and all night, which I generally am. I love the town. I think it's up and coming. In the years that I've been here, it's already only gotten better. The scene is evolving. We're getting more, I think, more city-like, and that's a good way, in a good way, not in a bad way. I mean, more people are coming here. More people are looking at Plymouth as a destination. And also, one other thing I love is the businesses around me are awesome. Like, the people are very helpful. When I first came in, and I'm not just any business, even restaurants. What can I do for you? What can I help? Everybody's very friendly. If somebody next door needs something, they can come over and ask me, and I'll give it to them. Vice versa. There's not a ton of, like, at least outward competition. I'm sure everybody's competing, of course, but the more places that are down here that are better, the better it is for everybody. You get people who come to Plymouth and want good food, and they have choices, that's only going to benefit everybody else. So. Well, that's one of the other reasons we decided to do this. I was bartending, not even cooking at the time. My wife is a waitress in Boston, and we're both in our 40s. And you come to a point and you say, all right, well, you have to look at the future. We also have three children under 10. So what are you going to do? You're going to bartend forever? You're going to wait tables forever? And there's nothing wrong with doing that. And you can do that. But having already done that for 20 years, it's a young person's game. Excuse me. It's a young person's game, and the older you get, the less you're going to want to do that. So that's when we decided. We'd always wanted to kind of do something around here, food related. We thought maybe a gourmet food shop, wine and cheese, prepared foods. And then as we talked and as we went on and we thought more about it, we both know the restaurant business, or at least you think you know the restaurant business. And everybody says they can do it, and then you do it and you realize it's the hardest job you've ever had. But this hopefully sets up so that we maybe not only own this one, but we own something else, and we start another one, and we own something else, and we get the kind of the formula down, and then you don't have to be behind the bar anymore. You don't have to wait tables anymore, and you don't have to cook anymore unless you want to. I mean, you basically, the idea is to get to a point where you can do what you want to do, and then you set your family up as well. You got jobs for your kids, if for no other reason, just to teach them work ethic. They don't have to get into this business, certainly, but they could end up running it. Boy, I don't even know if I can answer that. We are kind of unique in the fact that we change our menu so much. I literally have a hard time remembering things that were on my own menu. We save all the menus on the computer, so it's fun to go back and check things out. I don't know, I kind of maybe sometimes think back to when we first opened. There was a dish we were serving. It was a miso cod, so we would soak the cod in the miso glaze overnight, and then when you cook it, you sear it, and it comes like caramelized, so it's sweet and salty. And we would serve that over just fresh julienne vegetables, and we would put a little bit of like a tempura zucchini over the top of it. And there's something about that dish that was like on our very first menu that I always remember, and I kind of liked about it because it incorporated the Asian flavors, the local cod, the vegetables we were getting at the time because it was summer and the zucchini was prevalent and all that. Well, the menu has certainly gotten bigger for one. When we first started, we might have had 5 entrees, 6 apps, but you know, we're also taking it slow, easing into it. And I mean, I was super new to this, so I didn't want to ruin it, you know, do anything stupid to ruin my own chances. But I also still have, you know, one of the original chefs I hired is still with me, so we've grown together and gotten to know one another's tastes and styles and what we each bring to the table. And that's one thing that has definitely helped. And the guy I hired is very much into the farms and the local produce, so he's forged relationships with so many of the farmers in the area, and which is kind of why we are trying to, you know, 90% use farms, local farms for that. So that affects us. But also what affects is when you do it every day, when you do something every day, you kind of, you have to get better at it. But if you don't, then you're doing something wrong. But what that means for me was, you know, you start you play with flavors and you play with ingredients, and oh, you like that, I didn't like that, and you learn and you see what you have around you that's awesome. Because when you first get into it, you kind of just like trying everything just to see what sticks. And then as you go along, then now you have a year under your belt of what you know you like and what products work, or what you don't like, what products don't work, who to work with and who not to work with. All those little things play into it. Every day you learn something new. I know that sounds cliche, but it's never been more true for me than it has in this business. Hey, I'm Mike Peters, owner of The Tasty. Come on down. Tuesday night's noodle night. Every other night, we're doing new stuff, fresh stuff, super seasonal. This place is awesome. Come in and give us a shot.